birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Hey, welcome everybody here on a Wednesday night in the INvets ARCA series. I know this is a familiar voice for some people, but this is Pat Drabick, co-founder of Goat Locker Racing. I'm going to hang out with the guys from Nazareth 360 tonight, talk a little bit about what this racing series is all about and a few things that we got going on here at Goat Locker Racing. First and foremost, I want to talk about INvets. INvets came on board for the Summer Series this year. They are a veteran nonprofit based here in Indiana with their whole goal of bringing veterans to Indiana to work and to live, showing them the benefits of being here and all the things that we offer veterans here in the state of Indiana. They're doing some amazing work. They actually have people all across the country that go to different bases. They talk to different people about the benefits of coming to Indiana, and they're connected with numerous different hundreds of different employers here in the state of Indiana as well. So if you're a veteran and you're out there and you're listening to the broadcast and you're thinking about, getting out of the military and what you're going to do afterwards, you need to connect with INvets. Look them up online, invets.org, and all those different types of things. And of course, you can always reach out to us here at Goat Locker Racing, and we will get you connected to them as well. I've been with them and working with them since I retired in 2017, and they're just a phenomenal bunch of individuals doing some great work here. So couldn't be more proud to have them on board and to be the sponsor of this ARCA series here tonight. And one of the other really cool things that's happening here tonight, along with what we got up on the screen right now, is the Lincoln Tech Car Show. That's coming up on June 22nd. That's at the Indianapolis campus here. And each year Lincoln Tech puts on this car show. They choose a nonprofit to partner with that all the proceeds go towards. And Goat Locker Racing was chosen this year. We're super, super excited about this. We are going to have our full setup there. We're going to have our race trailer, our stock car, our mobile simulator, so people can come, jump in the sim, be able to turn some laps. We're probably going to put Indy cars at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway since we're going to be here in Indy. So you have your chance to kind of set a couple hot laps and compete for some prizes. We're going to have a full booth set up as well. You can get your t-shirts, your hats, your decals, your water bottles, whatever Goat Locker stuff that you need. We're going to have it right there at that car show. And of course, we're going to have a lot of the Goat Locker Racing family there. Jamie Barkus, the other co-founder of Goat Locker Racing, is coming up from Florida to be there. Our partners at Jam Printing Promotions, who's putting all the booth stuff together, they are going to be there as well. And then a lot of our other partners too. The Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs is going to be setting up next to us. I know some representatives from INvets is going to be there. And of course, all the student and staff there at Lincoln Tech Indianapolis campus. So exciting times here for Goat Locker Racing in the nonprofit world. But as we take a look right now, we've got the Summer Series schedule. Tonight's Talladega. We've got 41 drivers out here tonight at Talladega. It's going to be 3 wide. It is going to be mayhem. It's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. So buckle up. These are going to be an awesome 40 laps here tonight. And it's going to come down to that last lap to figure out who's actually going to be able to win here tonight. And then next week, we're going to move off to Texas, and we got a lot of really cool races coming up. Just an 8-week season here for the Summer Series, though. And the last thing I want to talk about before I kind of turn it over to the actual broadcasting crew here at Nazareth 360 is Nasty's Restaurant and Bar there in Hilliard, Ohio. Hopefully, you guys are tuned in, watching the race, getting ready to get amped up. Qualifying's getting ready to wrap up here tonight. We couldn't be more happy to have you guys as a partner, tuned in, supporting us. We did a charity race about a month ago, which was a huge success, not only there at the restaurant and bar, but for here at Goat Locker Racing. We were able to raise over $2,000, which helps us continue to support veterans and first responders all across the country, whether it is that we are putting them in sim rigs that we actually give to them or bringing them to be a part of our community. So tonight, on a lot of the cars, what you're going to see is a green 4-leaf clover with a 42 in the middle. So a couple weeks ago, one of the owners of Nasty's Bar and Grill, Frank, our hearts and thoughts are still with you, lost his mother. So we are dedicating tonight's race to her. And anytime you see that green clover with the 42, that is in memory of her. So Frank, we love you. Everybody at Nasty's, we love you too. And one last thing too. I know the folks at Cruising Classics are at Nasty's there tonight as well. That is so super exciting too, to see a lot of our sponsors come together, to see everything that continues to come together here for us at Goat Locker Racing. The nonprofit continues to grow and grow and grow, and we're super excited to have our first in-person event coming up and a lot of cool things going on. So, but it's time to get down to the nuts and bolts of this race, and I'll turn it over to our announcers for the Big Fish Barbecue Pole Award.
It looks like it's going to be Mike George there with that, just barely beating out Andy Kurtz there on the front row. So that's going to be your big pool award. First one of the season here at Talladega, sent up for 40 laps. They're rounding out the top 10. Are going to be John Anthony, Sam Milliken, James Coffin, George Jewell, Jesse Nikula, Stephen Bartett, Mikey Isaac, and Robert Barber will round out the top 10. Should be a fun race here tonight at Talladega. You're not going to see a whole lot of pushing in these cars. These cars do not give you the ability to do some bump drafting. That's how these wrecks happen out here, is when these guys get to bump drafted, because they don't match up well, and you'll lift the guy in front of you right off the ground.
You might, friend, when push comes to shove. At the moment, I'll get my auto levels correctly at the moment. There, Corey Bowman and Timothy Whelms will get their ways into the 11th and 12th there. Mike Kostek there. Mark McCrary there. Keith Hanley and Jeremiah Holt will be on the 16th position. Adam Wilson there. Tanner Bahina. Johnny Coltfield there, and Cameron Weisenberg, I think. Zach Engel, Alan Marshall, Ryan Pellington, and Justice Tice, my friend. You get a little bit of a chance to go through this big, huge grid. We go to the 25 position.
Yeah, we got Wesley Lynch back there, Brian Provo, Matt Knights, Scott Formosa, Brandon Wallace, Dustin Harrell there running out the top 30. We got running out the field Timothy Jones, Michael McCarthy, Jacob Ellingson, Eric Kuzman, Chance Taylor, Patrick Dixon, Chris Smith, Chase Jaggers, Mark Hollyfield, Jake Ham, and Craig Bontrager. That's 41 cars out here, and let's speak it into existence. All 41 cars running at the end. What do you think?
That's one really quick there for Patrick as well, too. Patrick, you join us as a booth. Thank you. Of course, you are allowed to join us as a booth anytime you want, my friend. You're the man that puts the show on.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, any big names out here you think that can take it here at the Talladega? Of course, I know Jacob Reeves would be like, Talladega, baby, this is where we're going, motor racing. I can't do a Jacob Reeves southern accent, but I love Talladega, I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun track. There are guys that absolutely love plate racing, and then there are guys that absolutely detest it. I'm one of the guys that absolutely love it. Your brain's constantly engaged. I mean, there's not a whole lot behind the wheel of the car. I mean, you put your foot to the floor and you turn left, but you're constantly engaged, judging your runs, judging who's around you, trying to figure out how to time that run, try to figure out how to move up through these lines. Do you ride for right now? Do you press it and try to get up front? So I think we're going to see a lot of different varying strategies. There are some strong cars out here tonight, too. Let's not forget Andy Kurtz is in the field, who won 9 races in the ARCA series last season, who was the season champion and sits on the pole here tonight. So if you were a betting man, and I know a lot of people there at Nasty's restaurant and bar are, I'd put that money on that number 8 car up front right now.
Well, Chris, where are you going to be putting your money on it right now? Not Barney waving that flag. Then again, you could bet your money on Barney waving that flag. But who's going to be rolling away across the first lap of Talladega? There's Barney. There's the flag. Where are the cars? They're around the corner. Let's go racing.
Yeah, I'm going to make a pick right here. I'm going to say Jacob Ellingson there from 33rd. Just going to throw a dart at the board and see what sticks.
It's not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick whatsoever.
The green flag is out here, rolling through turns 1 and 2 here for the first time. Like I mentioned already, you're not going to see a whole lot of pushing and shoving, because you'll just pick the guy right up in front of you there. He'll pick him right up off the ground, and next thing you know, you got a big wreck. However, when we get down to the last lap or two, all bets are off, and you're going to try to go as fast as you can.
It's a 40-lap sprinter as well, too. So for me, names there. Because I was reading it there, that the Jewel of Jewels, of course, that's behind the number 36 machine of George Jewell, who's currently at the moment 3 positions gained for the 36 machine. Sam leading from Andy Kurtz there, as well as I'm going to read through. Ray, of course, is out there. Hello, Ray. I love you all there. Steve is out there. Carl Lynch and Nathan Fox. We're going to be 36 of you are watching. We're going to get to that as quickly as possible. But first of all, let's watch these machines and these gladiators around the arena, of course. So Talladega, baby. Shake and bake it.
Yeah, right up at the front right now, we got Sam has gotten clear on the bottom. Now he's going to pull through the second place car on the bottom. Top side's not working too good right now. Not very tight draft up there. They got that 24 car up there, that motorsport machine there. That's good for an extra 50 or 75 horsepower around Talladega at that time in the NASCAR world with that paint scheme. Good push down here in the 3. Go ahead there, Patrick. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Like I said, I'd have to agree with you on that one. I grew up a Jeff Gordon fan, so it's always cool to me to see some of these guys running some of these little Jeff Gordon paint schemes, and it's good to see that 24 car out front.
And over to you there as well, too, there, Patrick. We don't get the ability, of course, to get the boss man here that puts his league on, as well as a racing driver, because I've commentated on you many times, Pat. What do you do there? You got 38 laps to go. This should go pretty quickly if it is going to be green all the way. What are you currently doing as a driver? Are you just getting a feel for it, getting temperature in the tires? What would you be doing?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, wherever I settled into line is probably where I'm going to stay at this point in time. You know, it's not a long race. It's not really a short race either. And you've got to really pick your spots when you come to one of these tracks like Talladega or Daytona. So if I'm sitting back in 22nd and I'm in line riding, that's where I'm going to sit. I'm going to see where this thing all starts to kind of play out a little bit, and especially when it comes to any type of pit strategy or those types of things, because while we all think we would want it to go 40 green flag laps, the odds of that actually are happening are probably not that good. So right now, I'm just going to ride and see how this whole thing starts to unfold in front of me.
You can ride along. Before I go over to you really quickly, somebody's got to ride up against the wall, the outside. They're going to take a gamble for 3 abreast. You can do it, of course, there, gentlemen, here at Talladega, but you're going to need some help when help is. Just before I go over to you, Chris, as well, too, I want to shout out to Dougie, of course, and Dougie is a big player here at the moment there, and wish Dougie well, of course, as Ray's shutting out at the moment there. Dougie's recovering from a little bit of health, well, not really health issues, of course, and he is getting better on the mend, and hopefully, Dougie, a big shout out to you, my friend. And Chris, how's this forming? They're looking 3 in the background here, slowly but surely.
Yeah, they're trying to get 3 wide, but I got a question here for Patrick or you there, Biggles. Does anybody know the fuel window tonight? Is there any chance somebody could stretch this without making a pit stop?
I don't think they can. Typically, when you come to one of these tracks, you're somewhere in that 35 to 38 lap range. So, I mean, possibly there's a couple guys in the back that are just kind of riding in line that might be able to save that kind of fuel. But I don't think anybody's going to try to play that game, as we see him go 3 wide at the front right now.
Yeah, 3 wide at the front, big push up the middle. We're going to get 3 wide, about 4 rows deep there, all of a sudden down into 3. Fuel strategy might be out the window. They race like this too much longer. One guy bailing out of the draft, not sure who that is, as they're right now 3 by 3 up here at the front. All of a sudden that outside lane is dying off. It's fell back to about the 2nd or 3rd row, trying to come back with a run. I feel like that 88 and 24, they've been pushing about as good as anybody. I've been able to see them kind of bump and release and bump and release. They're the only 2 cars that are really trying to do any kind of bump drafting right now, and I think that's why they're able to stay up there on that high line.
Yeah, Chris, and just like you were talking about earlier, these cars do not like being bumped. These ARCA cars, the way the front of them are and the way the nose slopes down. Oh, we got a wreck happening right now, folks.
And
Is
just
it
like
just 2 cars?
that?
Oh,
No.
no, here we go. Oh, multiple cars here in the 3. They're still wrecking over in the middle, 3 and 4.
Yeah, we finally have a caution. I was about to say, they haven't called the caution there. Bunny's sitting there going, no, it's game on, it's race on, but it's not, unfortunately. It has been a caution, and we'll go back and have a look completely at what happened, unfortunately, for the first wreck of the first race of the Summer Series. And what do you think at the moment that might have caused that one there, Patrick? Because maybe here. Yep, there it is. We'll have to back it up a little bit.
I believe it's going to start with Mark McCary.
Oh, we got a blinker as well. Go ahead.
The 83 car, I believe, is going to get up and hit the wall and slow his momentum. And it just creates a checkup and an accordion, and Ryan Pendleton ultimately paid the big price there for the 83 getting a piece of that fence.
Yeah, there it is. Bingo! You called it. I'm still going to find the 83 machine, because out of 41 drivers to go through on a 4K monitor, it's not the easiest thing to look at, but we'll have a look at the 83 somewhere. Here it is. Says Mark McCoy. Yep, here we go. Let's have a look at this one. Boys, girls,
So
ladies, and
what you're
gentlemen.
going to see here is they're 3 wide. He's just trying to give extra room. He's going to get up. They kind of stack up in front of him a little bit, and when he lifts, he moves to the right, and that just creates bigger turn to the right, and then he hits up in that wall. Once he hits that wall, it creates a big stack up. They run into each other, and ultimately it looks like about that 3rd car in the line is the one who ultimately gets turned, and the wreck is on from there.
Oh, I think you need a 4-leaf clover on your car. I think they all have 4-leaf clovers on their car. Don't take that, Patrick. But that's what caused that pile up at the back of the field there. Now, what's happened during the little replay is that we've had a couple of drivers go to pit road. Now, What do you feel about that one, my friend in the booth there? Patrick, is good strategy. Of course, some cars will need to for the damage, but the rest of them?
Yeah, I think, I mean, any chance you get to come get tires aren't going to make a whole lot of difference here tonight, but, you know, if you're towards the back of the field, might as well come grab you some Ford Feel Goods, get you full of gas, and make sure that everything's good. Definitely got some cars that are going to need some damage repair as well. Hopefully Ryan Pendleton will get that car fixed up and back in the fight here tonight. Hopefully most of those guys will be able to, and so we can get this race going back again. But what an exciting first, handful of laps there. 3 wide and 4 wide at certain points in times, and I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, fellas.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if the fuel window is 35 laps, I don't understand why not everybody pitted there to get the fuel to the end. So that tells me they either think they can make it, or we're still not inside a window where they feel like they can make it. So I'm really surprised that everyone didn't pit there, being 8 laps into the race.
I'll tell you one person that doesn't mind it too much is Tanner in the number 20 machine. He's gained 16 positions. Now, it may seem like it's getting a lot, but you're getting a lot during a field here of 41 gladiators. So not bad. Of course, Sam leading this race gained 3. Andy's lost 1. George Jewell has gained 2 there. Mike has gained 8. Mike George lost 5 a little bit there. And you go through Robert Barr right there, and Cameron as well too, getting 12. Another big gainer, of course, get a little bit further back. That's the 33 machine, our Tile of Justice. But of course, remember, they have not boxed or pit started. If you want to go to the first of the pit stops, you'd have to go all the way down to number 22 machine. Sorry, number 22 position, the 86 machine. He's the first of the pit stoppers. So will that come into play at all there, Patrick?
Yeah, I don't. Just like Chris was talking about, I'm not really sure, what the fuel strategy is looking like up front. So we're just going to have to see. We're going to have to see, this might be the first caution, but it's not going to be the last caution. So we'll have to see, if this field kind of flip-flops, with the guys up front, maybe at some point in time deciding to come down pit road, or maybe we see some of these guys up front never hit pit road and decide to keep that track position and try to stay out of some of the mayhem in the back. It's going to be interesting to see this whole thing play out and just see, if that pit strategy works or it doesn't work.
Well, I think you're right.
Go ahead, Chris.
I think we're in the same boat on that. As far as if it's a 5-lap short window, if it's 35 laps, 33 laps in that neighborhood, yeah, it makes a lot of sense for them to pit. But if they're thinking it's going to be caution, 2 or 3 more cautions, and they're going to be able to save 5-7 laps of fuel without an issue, being able to run in the lead. That's got to be their thinking, right? Is that they're going to be banking on, at least 3 or 4 cautions throughout this race, and they'll be fine. Now, if we get into green-white checker territory, well, that's going to open up a new can of worms, and that's what those boys who don't pit in the race, they don't want to see any green-white checkers at the end.
I love when people open up a can of worms, because I don't remember last time I opened up a can of worms, but of course it's that terminology of speech, isn't it? And so there's one at the moment, because Dougie, because Ray said, Dougie, thank you very much. That's one for you out there, Dougie. You can ask Ray, if you can ask Dougie what your thoughts were. Was it a good idea for those drivers to get down there in a pit road there, get some fresh boots on there, maybe a splash and dash of gasoline there? Have they got the lucky clover, of course, for the 42 out of respect? As you'd mentioned there, Patrick. That'll be the key, isn't it? Pace lights are off on the pace car. So there you go. And that's not just for, obviously, Ray and the Ellingston family with Dougie. It's also anybody else there. Give us your opinions, please. We love it. Your race drivers, your fans, your supporters. We're going to find out, won't we? Because I'll tell you what, Barney's going to say, let's go green.
Yeah, we're coming down to go green here, and we're already, getting ready to be working lap 10. So we're already 25% through this race, and like you guys mentioned, and we keep talking about, it's a short race, and if it stays green, it's going to be over in 25 minutes if it stays green, and we'll find out real quick about the fuel numbers and what people are doing as we come all the way down here to the Geico restart zone. Leader's off. Pretty good jump for the leader. Not sure what the rules are, but that 20 pulled down to the bottom there pretty quick. Pretty good start for everybody up at the front, though. Really quickly, front 4 single file. 5th on back side by side, but not real tight anywhere in the field just yet.
That's a question for you real quickly there at the moment there, Patrick, as well, too. Like, how bold and brave do you want to start going 2 abreast? Well, they are at the back around there, but how long do you go bold and brave before you start going 3?
Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, it depends on your strategy and I guess your level of comfort as well. I tend to be pretty aggressive when I race these tracks and get in these situations. I want to get my car up front as fast as I possibly can. So if I see a line moving, I'm going to try to get myself into that line. You know, another thing tonight that's happening as well, we got a lot of guys out here that race together on different teams. So you're probably going to see a little bit of some team strategy play out. You know, guys trying to get hooked up with their teammates, trying to get in line with their teammates, so they can get their line to advance.
Big push on the bottom, nearly turned that 77 sideways.
He's like, get out of my way. Tanner's, 16 positions gained at the moment there. They're getting a little loosey-goosey at the moment there. Thank you very much. Ray said, Dougie said out there, it's on fuel strategy. So pay attention. We'll see how that one pans out at the moment.
Hard into the inside wall.
Uh-oh.
Don't think that's going to bring out a caution.
Here's your 3 abreast.
I'm not sure who that was that spun down. It was a black car spun down into the inside wall. But a single car wrecked there and blow off the track, so no caution's going to come of that.
Oh, this is spicy and dicey at the moment there, Patrick. If you're in this midfield at the moment, what are you doing? Close your eyes, just point the car in the right direction and just pray something doesn't go around. And there it is. Oof, I spoke too soon. That's not on me there, drivers. That's not on me. Let's find out what happened in just a moment.
And this again is a product of these cars right here. We saw it in the first, wreck that happened. Is the nose of these ARCA cars will get underneath the back end of the one in front of them and just lift that car in the air. So even if it's something like what happened in the first accident where someone just gets out of the throttle a little bit, if you get into the back end of that car, it's just going to raise it up and spin them out. And so you'll see that happen here tonight in a few of these different types of wrecks.
This is, I think, this out of pit road there. Sorry there, Ray. Of course, that's Jake. It looks like Jake had a little problem coming out of pit road there. And
James Kaufman is the trigger car for this wreck.
Oh, was it? James Kaufman.
It was not driving up underneath somebody. I think it was 3 wide, and he didn't know it. 25 just turned left. Like he did not know they were 3 wide there coming out of the triangle.
Let's see if we can go back and find that one real quick there. Sorry. So we'll have a look for James. See if we can find James somewhere around here at the moment. 1 second. A lot to look at. Don't you worry. We got it covered here at the network. Fantastic networks, of course. And James is currently running where, gentlemen? Just have a look.
He's the 25 spinning there like a top.
Yeah. Okay, so the 25, and I'll go back and spot James currently. There he is. Let's rewind that one for a second. Once again, I have 41 drivers to go through here, the telemetry, and we have it here live. Explain this, Mr. Patrick, do you want to ride on board? Why not? Well, at least nose
Yeah,
case.
you see the 25 up and out of the draft right there. Slowed a little bit, and we'll see the 14 car go by there on the inside. And I think he comes down as he comes down to try to get in line. Must not realize there's a car there below him, spins out, and of course that causes quite a few other cars to get involved with that. As we saw a lot of the cars go down on the apron to avoid everything. I think that's where we saw Jake Ellingson and another car get together. As they were down on the apron trying to avoid everything else, they came together. But leaders start coming to pit road right now.
And guess what? They're going pit road, of course. They're going to come in and out of pit road. Most of them, at least the ones that didn't go in pit road. Really quickly, of course, we have advertisers.
Oh, and they're wrecking in the back. As the 14 tried to get into his pits, he got spun around.
Got to hit those brakes on time. Back in just a minute.
And welcome back to Talladega, where we are finishing up these green flag pit stops, taking a look at the Ryan Pendleton machine here from Columbus, Ohio. It's down the road from me. It's about 40 minutes away. I'm right here in Ohio as well, and all this talk about Ohio.
Could be at Nasty's. Well, if you were at Nasty's, you would be calling the race right now. Never mind.
Well, maybe we could get the broadcast going live from there, right?
Well, actually, this is a big question, isn't it, Patrick? We were talking about this earlier in the green room, that there are live broadcasts, of course, at Nasty's. And, well, I mean, you know, we could actually get them interactively involved perhaps in the future there. So if you are down there and you're watching the race, shout it out. You can call it out. We'll put you on a little picture-in-picture window, or even like get you on cam. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I think that's an absolutely outstanding idea. We love everybody there at Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, and of course our good friends at Cruising Classics that are there as well. You know, all the fun stuff that they continue to do, and not only do they continue to do great things for us and help us raise money so we can continue our work with veterans and preventing veteran suicide and mental health issues, but they do a lot of work within the community, and they work with a lot of different nonprofits. And it's awesome to listen to talk to them, to know what they're doing, to know that they're more than just business owners, you know, that they want to make an impact within their community, and they want to help as much as they possibly can. I've had some of the best conversations I've had with Frank, one of the owners there, and can't be more happy and more proud to have them on board with us. I think it is so awesome that our races are broadcast live at their restaurant, to where people can, you know, come check us out, see what we're doing, watch a dang good race, and then be able to help support what we're doing.
Can we get him in one time, perhaps for a bit of a chin wagon, as well as you said, Cruising Classics? Have you been down that Cruising Classics garage there and driven any of those fantastic cars? We've done, I remember last season, Jacob and I were sitting there just, you know, Ray and everybody else out there in chat would know, like, you know, we're picking out some of those cars that you see in the fantastic ad, like, which one's which? Can you let us know? Like, have you driven any of them? You had the ability at least to drive any of those, man, Patrick?
You know, I have not made my way out to Cruising Classic. That is on the tap for July, actually, as we have our mobile setup getting put together at this point in time. Hopefully the next event that we have after the June 22nd Lincoln Tech Car Show is that we take our stock car, our race trailer, our mobile simulator, and we're going to go set up at Nasty's Restaurant and Bar. And I plan on actually heading over to Cruising Classics and setting up over there. And then hopefully, while everybody's distracted with the simulator and all that other stuff, I might be able to sneak into the showroom and take a car or two out for a spin.
And do you want to take this, scan that right now, as we got a little bit of time, of course? And once again, you said, mentioning about the INvets, isn't it? Like, partner, right? Non-profit, getting it out there, helping everybody that possibly can be connected. I love it.
That's one of the biggest things in the veteran community. When we talk about helping and supporting veterans and first responders, it's all about community. It's all about connecting people, bringing them together, giving them something to do, giving them something fun to do, giving them a chance to compete, to be around their brothers and sisters that they served with in the past. And INvets does a phenomenal job of that as well. So again, Goat Locker is all about bringing all these community resources together to help out our nation's warriors.
He
and I gotta
it,
tell you, as we
Chris.
come down for the green,
Go ahead. Bonnie's going to say.
I just looked at the menu for Nasties. Man, there's some good stuff there. I might have to get over there and try that. I didn't even know that place existed.
Do they ship overseas? I'd like some over down in Australia anytime soon at the moment. Barney likes it. Barney's waving the green flags at our fantastic sponsors. Let's go racing.
Major stack up. And we got the 77 around. We're going to have another cause big record.
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, it's big. I
think they're too eager. I don't know if they have a drive-through at that fantastic restaurant, my friend, but those drivers are eager for some of the food.
And that was Sam there. That was the 77. We saw him up front. He pitted, got back there in traffic, and, well, it didn't go as planned for him tonight.
Yeah, it looks like the 23 machine at Ryan Pendleton's kind of tore up again.
And have a look
lot
back
of cars involved in this one, my friends.
Yeah, I think this is further up as you mentioned there. I'm just looking at what the telemetry is giving me from race control. And we'll just ride on board for this for a second, whether the stack up there, it did happen there. Exactly, bang. And at this point, what are you doing? Just point it straight and go, help! No. Oh! Yep, you're basically becoming an engineer at the moment going, I think you got a little crack in your exhaust.
I'll tell you this, that started with Timothy Jones on the outside of the front row. It looks like...
Timothy Jones.
He didn't know they were going green that time or something, and it was... the 95 of Timothy Jones is where it starts, all the way up at the very front. And yeah, you see here, he's the front row, and the leader's at the line, and he's still...
I'm not sure if he missed a shift or what happened there, but
there was already
that
spin
caused
behind.
a huge stack up behind him.
This is...
he ends up getting turned.
But there was a stack up behind them, so I wonder at that point if they got the caution.
No. He didn't go. That's why they stacked up behind him. If you back that one up, all the way to the
let's have a
restart zone,
look.
he just
we're right on board, actually. This is with Timothy. and we'll give an idea. We'll actually try to get into the cockpit there, and you can try to explain this one at the moment. We'll go full speed there. Good luck there, Patrick. What happened?
Yeah, as we see him coming to the Geico restart zone here, leader fires off, and I don't know if he spins his tires or what is happening at this point in time, but that car is just not going. You can see the RPM gauge,
Yeah.
and it is just not accelerating at all.
Maybe
at that point in time, I mean, it just causes a huge stack up. You see guys trying to get around to
Yeah,
the
he
left
gets
and right,
tagged.
and he just ends up getting hooked.
I wonder if he's like cat or dog or something like that. Who just jumped up on your lap there on your racing rig and says, "Oh, I need a little bit of attention, or take me for a walk." Unfortunately, it hasn't happened, and that's the situation currently at the moment for our he will take third caution actually.
And what's unfortunate there, like I said, is some of those guys that were running up at the front, like the 77, he hits the wall head on, gets hit by a bunch. His shot to win tonight is probably over in that 77 machine.
But it is other shots to head into pit road. I'll tell you that right now, for sure. There's a few of them heading back in there. That just makes our job more fun up here in the commentary box there as well too. Everybody for tuning in, thank you very much. So that we can keep ourselves sharp to find out what is going on, of course.
See the 20 in the pit road as well. He's got some damage on his left side. So some of these guys that have been players in this race, they have to reset and hope that the damage gets fixed good enough. That 20 car, it looks like they fixed that fender pretty good as he pulls off the pit road. So we'll see. It's all about getting your car fixed and...
Yeah, dig it out, man. Bit of gaffer tape, right, ladies and gentlemen. And after Talladega is a fun adventure tonight. Once we get through that one, Patrick's gone for a second. But Chris, Texas next, my friend. Everything bigger and better in Texas?
Track.
Or not?
The question is this going to be new Texas or old Texas? Because that totally changes the dynamic of the kind of race that's going to play out.
Hey, see, I don't know anything about it. Texas is just a big, lovely place where you can get great barbecues and sit out back on your porch there and chat about how it all hangs out there in the West.
And
But
then
I don't
right
really
after
know more than
Texas,
that.
you're going to go to Stafford, do some short track racing. Going to be an exciting race there. Stafford for sure going to be exciting. Lots of beating and banging. Hopefully not too much wrecking. And then everybody's going to get good and mad at each other at Stafford. And then they're going to go to one of the biggest tracks there in Fontana and be able to run away from each other in about 7 different lanes out there at Fontana.
7? Does that mean you're going to
yeah.
get 7 cars? What is the most you've ever seen, actually, in any racing track here in the United States of America?
The most wide?
Wide,
what
yeah.
do you
5, 6 wide, 7 wide?
I mean, we've seen 6 to 7 wide. Usually it doesn't work very long. You'll see
know,
it, and then
but yeah,
you
for a
immediately
second.
see smoke.
I just
Probably the most consistent thing over 3 wide is that race at Talladega about 10 years ago in the Cup Series where they ran 4 wide for about 20 laps and all the way through the field.
not here on the NASCAR network, right? But we could get it here.
I mean, we could get it.
We've seen
could get
3
it.
wide a few times this evening. We haven't seen 4 wide just yet, but
I'm going to tell you this right now. It's going to be harder to get 4 wide around here on iRacing than it is in real life because on iRacing you got net code. Everybody's connection has to like. In real life, you're not blinking in and out, or you're not hovering around like a little bit. You know, it's where that guy's going to be. On here, it's like he might blink a little bit, come back, and his car move 2 feet to the left just because of the connection coming in and out.
it is very true. And believe it or not, that I've heard from the powers that be, because I've been broadcasting a lot of iRacing on tracks and ovals and so forth for some time. See, now there's a blinker right there, just speaking about it, but that's okay. It's safety car speeds. But it's the blinking is really more designed, at least the netcode, of course, talking about, how the calculation is going to be, where the car, it's predicting really, almost talking about AI, like get ChatGPT involved and stuff like that, where to predict the car to be at a certain point and place. And thankfully, you only have 4 or so corners, generally on ovals, that they can predict where the car is going to be based on its current speed, average speed, and that sort of jazz. You go into a road course, my friend, and you're about to heavy brake into a tight hairpin. That's when it becomes super difficult for, if you blink any netcode to code to try to predict where your car's been when it's briefly disconnected from the server for a millisecond. So thankfully, I think in overall racing, it's a lot better.
I'll tell you
than
this.
what we do.
I've done some road racing and some oval racing. There's nothing worse than driving around Talladega or Daytona with a blinker.
Oh, really?
That's
We do
the-
have a blinker currently at the moment, too. I think I'm quite sure who
That's
that
the
is.
most uncomfortable thing because of, running 2 and 3 wide right against the guy, and you're just like, if you're in the middle of the pack with 5 to go and somebody blinks, you're just hoping that when he comes back solid and not moving around and getting some kind of big net code. But the pace car is off.
Yeah, Barney's not blinking.
Hopefully, this restarts better than the last one.
Green, green, green.
Green is out. It looks to be a much cleaner startup at the front. Doesn't look to be near the stack up. And once again, we've got 3 cars single file, 4 cars single file, 5 cars single file. They won't be single file for long, as you see the 3rd place car pull out, trying to get some kind of run there, using a little bit of the side draft. We'll try to pull up there.
Yep, down the
All
backstretch,
these
my
guys
friend. Go ahead.
All these guys will come back together here real quick once they get up to speed and start getting a big draft and a big toe hitting on the backstretch.
I think those cars don't venture out to the very right-hand side, which one is currently at the moment.
Oh, we're wrecking in the 3. Oh, and it's gonna. Oh,
That's
we've got
huge.
one upside down.
Wow, that's massive. That's half a field. That's half a field wrecked out at least. At least. Woo! We almost
Wow.
went a good 15 laps or so and changed on green flag conditions. At the moment, my friend, they say cautions breed cautions. Well, thankfully, none of these drivers are
Still
going to have to
wrecking, trying to
visit.
get drove away down there.
They did cause something, my friend. Wow.
Wow.
Yep. That's what happens. And I've got a lot of little, put it this way, scrolling to go through that wreck. And I'm not quite sure if
Let
it
me
started.
try to find you a car number here.
This is on lap 20,
Uh,
right? Let's have a look.
Yeah, we did just.
Oh,
finish
it's
halfway.
before. So it's
It's Stephen Bartett.
Stevie.
Yeah, it is the 19 car.
Yep. Let's have a
That's
look.
where it starts.
Wow. Stevie's on everywhere. All right. So close your eyes at the moment if you are supporting any of the drivers and your friends and family, because thankfully they're not going to get hurt, but it's not going to look good on camera. Let's watch.
Yeah, so they're going to get down here, and he's got a big run, and he's basically going to try to clear himself, but the run's died out, and he just turns left. Once again, I mean, that car is 3/4 of the way up beside him, and he just turns left into the John Deere. Maybe it's because that car wasn't John Deere green. It had some black, and it
And
needed
look
to
at
be
this
John Deere
car
green.
pile up. This is not Wreckfest. This is just, he's on his lid. This car's going, of course, this car's got nowhere to go. At this point, look at that. You've got no track to veer left and right. You're just basically going to plow it into. The grass would be your best option at that point. You just lost so much traction anyway, and I'm sure they're going to continue to keep spinning after that point.
Yeah, and he's just surfing on top of the whole pile down there too in the 19 car.
Yeah. We're in Talladega. We're not on the East Coast or the West Coast.
Well,
are
Patrick, I came to the
we? Wow.
Uh-huh.
I came to the assumption that he turned left because that car wasn't John Deere green down there.
Oh,
Did
fair
you hear
enough.
that?
You couldn't see him, so if it was John Deere green that had that brighter green, he might have seen him down there.
And it kind of blends in with the grass, maybe.
I know this is very unfortunate. This is not what you or any of the guys wanted to have happen tonight. Is the Wreckfest that has kind of ensued here,
Well,
but
As we always say here. at Go
Whoa,
Locker
look at the
Racing,
67 lit up at the apron there as this Wreckfest. Of course, that is
massive pile
insane.
up right there.
Woo! 19's going for a roller coaster ride. That's Steve Barnett on the lid. Actually, I want to back up there for a second. So hang on, if you want a roller coaster ride here at the fantastic Go Locker Racing Network, right on board right now with this man. This is going to be fun. Woo! All right, here we go, full speed. Hold on tight, please.
Oh,
Now, what are you going to put? Take your hands off the steering wheel, my friend. Otherwise, you'll break your bloody wrists. There you go.
no, one of the biggest things that we always talk about here at Go Locker Racing is we're much bigger than what happens on track. Go Locker Racing is a veteran nonprofit founded here in the state of Indiana, again, serving our nation's warriors and first responders. What we do on track is secondary to everything else that we're doing. Yeah, these guys come out here and they want to race and have a great time, compete for championships. There's a championship up for grab here in this series as well with an end-of-season trophy. But a lot of guys that come out here and race with us, they understand what we're all about, and they also understand, hey, it's Talladega. There's 41 cars out here. This is going to happen. But I know a lot of guys are having a lot of fun. I know a lot of the guys were really amped up that this is being live cast, at Nasty's restaurant and bar. So we got some guys that are pretty hyped up. It's showing up here a little bit. But the field's starting to kind of thin out a little bit. So I don't know, folks. Maybe some green flag racing coming up.
Maybe so. We've got less than 20 laps to go. We're already past the halfway point.
Yeah, Chris, we're going to go green at the moment. I wonder if there's going to be shots given at the moment for Rex. Hopefully not shots given for Rex, but hopefully shots given for best overtakes and things like that as well too. Nasty, so pay attention to that one. They're going 3 wide already there, Chris.
Yeah, 3 wide up here at the front already. And like, I want to hit home here too about these Rex. These guys are some good drivers. I've done enough NASCAR races to know how good these guys are and whatnot. So it's just this ARCA car is so different than anything else, and we've talked about it all night long about how these cars don't like to take a push. You have to be really smart with the push. You can't just get up there and hit the guy. Well, what that does is it creates big runs in the pack, and if you're not running in this ARCA car a lot, it will surprise you how big the runs are because you can't push the guys at the front and kind of pick the pace up of the whole pack. And I think that's what's creating these wrecks on these restarts. Hopefully now that we've completed this full lap and everybody's kind of up to speed, everything will work out here to the end.
Getting 18 to go currently at the moment there, Patrick. I know you'd step away for a few minutes, but Jake is up 30 places at the moment. I can hear Ray, of course, his mum shouting out there, "Come on, Jake, get it done there." Of course, I can also hear Dougie out there, his father, shouting out there for Jake to get a job done there. Bike's leading from Brian, and on the outside, Jake needs a push. So let's see how, if push comes to shove, if they get it done, and they are pushing him big time. This is going to be a lot of fun. In fact, Jake's a little bit further back. My apologies, but Andy Kurtz there. Well, gentlemen, they say start your engines. Gentlemen, you're going to turn your engines off when Barney waves the checkered flag. 7 Indigo.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if there's one driver in the field tonight that I want behind me pushing, it's Jake Ellingson. I've won quite a few races thanks to Jake Ellingson. That man really understands, plate racing and drafting. He understands it in every car too, whether it's trucks, the next-gen car, this ARCA car. That man really understands it. So it's no surprise to see that 27 machine up front. And right now, he's right there behind Brian Provo with that big 4-leaf clover and 42 on the hood.
And I don't want to see Jake push anybody to the win. I'd like to see him win this race, make me look really smart coming in for this one-off on the season and picking the winner. I think we take that right to the bank. So we try to get 3 wide again.
As I told you from the beginning, that's not a bad pick whatsoever, but we still see that 24 car of Andy Kurtz up front. Again, last season's champion making his move to try to take this lead on the outside row.
And you have basically half the field in the pit road as well at the moment too, as you'd expect, because of the big damage that occurred. But they're all having fun. It's the first race of the season. 15 laps to go. I think it's more about keeping it green at the moment there. There's a major wreck. That's it. You're out. But hey, if you're in it to win it, Andy is, Mike is, Brian is, Chance Taylor, Jake, Jesse, and Wesley. They're all in it, my friend. Who's going to get on the outside? Maybe Ryan. This is going to be in it to win it. This is going to be fun. Don't you go anywhere, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Cats and dogs even tuned in.
Yeah, and there's still 15 to go, and 15 to go at a lot of places means the race is almost over, but 15 laps around here is quite a long time. You want to, if you're up here towards the front, you want to wait until, especially in an ARCA car where the runs are so big, I don't think I want to be in the lead until pit entry on the last lap. I think that's when I want to be able to have the run to be able to take the lead and try to win the race that way. I think if you're leading at the white flag, you're probably not coming back to the checkered as the winner.
Just got past through lap traffic as well too. Thankfully, the lap car still on the highway. See that car in the red up the top high line there near the fence? He's hanging in there at the moment. He had to actually lift off a little bit and cut back in there. Somehow find the room there. Thankfully, Talladega has it so that they can allow the other lap car to go all the way through on the outside to make 4 abreast. It can be done around here, of course. But here we go. This is where push comes to shove. You said 14 laps to go. And the inside apron, get off there, my friend. He's going to throw everybody inside out there, the lap car. Brilliant racing here. Boys and girls, is this fun?
The pushing on that inside line is getting more and more aggressive. They are pushing pretty hard on that bottom line. So far, they've done it, kept it pretty straight. Oh, looking 3 wide there in the middle of the pack. Contact.
Hold on.
What
Who was that? Who was that? Here we go. There's 4 abreast. Oh, this is fun.
Holy smokes. How that was not a wreck, folks, I don't know.
Dude, this is the motor racing you said. It's not always about wrecks. It's about also saving it, isn't it? Like, that itself is a little award that you should give, I think, at the end of the season, isn't it? The biggest saves, the best saves should also be collaborated with the ventures and the adventures of these drivers on the inside apron. So stay out of hole. We had 4 abreast here, gentlemen. We are still a motor racing to go. We get down 13 to go. This is when push comes to shove. This is when it gets, you were my mate, you were my friend all season long, but I want to win. So how much friendship are you going to have on track right now?
What that did last time, too, was really hurt that outside line. When they got 3 wide and got contact and then, of course, 4 wide, the outside line lost all its help there for about a lap, and they're finally coming back together. So what those 2 cars on the outside were able to do by staying up there, that's pretty impressive. That was really hard for them to be able to pull off to stay there without any help behind them.
How
here we go,
nervous
3 wide.
are you right now, Patrick, if you're in this situation in the middle here? Patrick.
Andy Kurtz blocks that middle lane moving up. Oh, I think guys are making some pretty aggressive moves here. And some of the guys are realizing the laps are winding down, so they need to position their car somewhere towards the front.
There's a high line
if they're
push.
gonna have a shot here to win this thing.
Yeah, Chris, what would you be doing at the moment? You got to be push them in the high line at the moment. You can see up the top there, the blue-white car. He's not getting enough push, but he needs somebody. He needs a few more cars there to back him in there. Maybe a little bit closer to the side draft. But at the moment, you can see Mike got a little bit of an edge there currently. And Andy Kurtz, as you mentioned, he's well aware of winning. The man started in P2, currently at the moment running in P2. And he's thinking about P2 right now. He's thinking about P1. But the outside lines start to bring out action here. 3 abreast.
Yeah, and the 24 tried to block that move, but he just could not do it. It's super hard to block with the momentum you're able to get. Now he's going to pull right down in front of that 24. And you asked what I would do. It depends on where I'm at in the pack. If I'm at the very back, I'm trying to pick a lane and move forward. If I can't, maybe just hang out and say, you know what, it looks like they're probably going to wreck. If I'm at the front, I'm trying to keep my track position. You're trying to make all the right moves. At this point, the further up in the field you are, the more you're watching your mirror. The more you're relying on a spotter, an actual spotter, not just the AI spotter, to say, hey, look, they're coming with a run here, 3 back, 2 back, you need to get pulled up, something like that. This is where it would really be beneficial to have a friend and someone you trust in your ear.
Ooh, at the moment, it's going to be beneficial to make sure your friend is not the fence, because the fence is getting closer. They get wiggly and jiggly and all sorts at the moment there. So, Patrick, once again, driving in the pants of these machines at the moment. Who's looking good there? Your last best
Big move from the 24. He
slap your. That's
Right,
Wesley
block.
in the fence. We're
Stay
going
down.
green. We're going green. So,
He saves it.
Patrick, what do you get? Last chance to lock anything of 10 to go here. You'll bet.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Ryan Pendleton. Pendleton, he's been involved in a couple of wrecks here tonight.
Oh, that's it. That's a wreck.
And he got through it.
Ooh.
big wreck here
He
at
did
the
get
start
through
finish
it.
line. That 24 car, she's done, boys.
Sorry as well, too. It looks like Jake was also involved, if I'm not mistaken, in that one. Chance Taylor survived it. Ryan, you mentioned, had survived it. And Johnny Caulfield has also survived it, Mikey. But the rest of the field, wrong place, wrong time. And we'll see how
As
it
you
all
saw
pans
there,
out.
I mean, a lot of those cars look really nervous. You saw them snaking back and forth there a little bit. I think, again, everybody's trying to position themselves a little bit. And one zigged and one zagged and brings out another caution here tonight.
Yeah,
I
it
was
looks
wondering
like
who
that
it started with.
23
Here it is. Let's have a look.
That 23 and 01 are going to make contact 3 wide. And then it just, they fell over like dominoes.
I'll tell you what, we'll go to what Arnold Schwarzenegger would say. Let's go to the chopper, and we'll find out what the chopper cam's going to tell us about what happened.
And this is something we only see at Talladega. What you're about to see is you're going to see the cars running back around 5th or so, get together, and because of the way the field falls down, like I said, almost like dominoes, you're going to see the 24 get wrecked from contact with the 01 and 23.
I've got it quarter speed at the moment because I want to see this in slow-mo, because this is what, unfortunately, the drivers do not have this, of course. They're just sitting there at 200 miles an hour, but here we go. You can explain this one.
Yeah,
Just
there
get
it is.
Together.
yeah. 23 kind
together.
of leaks down there a little bit, gets into the 01, and the 01 clips the 8, and I mean, it's on from there.
I was going to say, almost the 24 could have saved it, but that's it, bingo. So the 2 that survived, well, 3 that survived up the road, 4 actually, Not all of them, no, only the 3. And I think that was Ryan that did, yes, as you mentioned. Wow. Right place, right time, and a bit of luck on your side, I'd have to say. That's why you need a full leaf clover on your car. And what is the reason why you need a full leaf clover on your car there, my friend?
Well, I mean, obviously for good luck, but the other thing that all these drivers are running that 4-leaf clover with the 42 in the middle is in memory of Frank's mom. Again, Frank, we're thinking about you, and we're thinking about the whole Nasties family at this point in time. And I'm glad to see a lot of these drivers come out here tonight, put that 4-leaf clover on their car. And I'm glad we were able to talk about it here a little bit this evening and just bring some attention to it.
And I want to talk about something here, too. Look at that 01 car. He did not fit. He's going to restart third. Look at the front of that car. And it's not just him. You look at his car. You look at the 97 car. You look at the 00. There's a lot of cars up here with very substantial damage. And that is going to create some kind of chaos here for the first lap or two on this restart.
No, that's nothing that won't buff out. Is it? I don't know. Oh, wow. I hope everybody's enjoying themselves at the moment there. Thank you much for the chat. 37 of you watching at the moment. Please hit the like and subscribe as well, too, on the other networks that you're watching on the Twitch channel and Facebook. Please give a huge support to the Fantastic Racing League. This is the Goat Locker Summer Series. So, I'll tell you what, when the heat is on, it's heating on, isn't it? Here, and of course, Patrick, we had the luxury of having him in the booth here this evening alongside the fantastic commentator of Chris. Well, if the heat is on, it's on Talladega.
One guy we haven't talked about who looks pretty clean there is John Anthony. Oh, we're wrecking under yellow. The 17's around here off of turn 4.
Yep, I think you're right back here. I can't even see the driver, unfortunately. That scratch behind there. They might have to go another lap around Talladega.
Green, green, green.
Green is out. They are letting the green
we're going
go.
green. Yeah, like, what's a wreck? Let's go. We got 8 to go.
Absolutely incredible stuff here tonight at Talladega. As the green comes out, we're side by side up here at the front. The 01's got a lot of damage. We'll see what kind of help he can be, but I mean, cars behind him have damage too. Look at that 00, the 80 machine there, tore up as well. This is all about who's got a clean car.
It looked like a lot of guys were trying to catch up to the back of the field, so we got some guys coming with some steam as well. We still got quite a few cars in the race here tonight, and we got the front of the field's coming up on a lap car right now.
Here we go.
Dives down to the apron to get out of the way, but we're going to be
4 wide
in the
passing
lead.
that lap car.
Oh, wow. Tell you what,
Nearly
it's not
contact.
4 wide kind of passing a lap car. We're 4 wide on the track, gentlemen, with 7 to go.
That Bucky's car back there that I was going to talk about, it looks pretty clean, and it's the only Dodge I've seen so far tonight, I believe. So he's out here working hard out here in the Bucky's machine. And he's around. Commentator's curse.
Oh, that's it. That's on you.
Yep. Talk about a guy being clean and having a good enough run there, and
Oh, that's a huge wreck as
Man.
well, too. That's going to take out any other players and their chances, of course, of getting
And
the
they
job
keep piling
done.
in back there.
So Ryan's going to be a big smile, of course, on his face to take the lead of this race. And briefly, we'll get a little short break. We'll be back in just a momento. And don't you dare go anywhere. Ray, Carl, Chazzy, Chris, everybody out there. We're coming back in a minute after this ad.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
And welcome back here as we wind down the final 5 laps here at Talladega Superspeedway for the first race in this ARCA series, presented by Goat Locker Racing here. Boys, it's been a crazy race, 4 to go. Lots of damaged race cars out here. It's turned into a game of Survivor tonight. Patrick, I think you got something you want to ask about or bring up here?
Yeah, so we were talking as the commercials were playing and those types of things. You know, we talk a lot about cruising classics and a lot of the really cool cars they have, and of course we show the ad. And there are a bunch of really, really cool cars that are shown there on the ad. And I'm just kind of wondering a little bit, you know, how many people actually know what some of those cars are? So if you're in the chat and you recognize one of those cars, type it in the chat. Let us know what cars you saw there. You know, which one of them you'd like
I
to
got
own.
one for you. I want to know. And I want to know if anybody knows it in the chat there. What was the blue car? There's a big bright blue car there. It was in a mix of all those other cruising classic machines. I want to, if anybody can answer me that question there, because, you know, maybe Patrick will give you a hug there, or Patrick may even, I don't know, whatever you want to do, Patrick. But
I mean, I am a hugger,
there you go.
so.
I
Yeah,
do
there
know
you go.
this though. I know at a lot of bars, they play a drinking game when they've got some kind of broadcast going on or something that they're affiliated with or whatnot, or even just a sporting event. Well, I hoped over there at Nasty's tonight they weren't playing a drinking game with the word caution or the yellow flags or something like that, because
Yeah, by the
they're going to
way.
need a lot of help getting home
Is
tonight.
anybody at that bar at the moment? I will buy them a drink. You talk to the barkeep. I'll buy them a drink if they guess what the blue machine is. All right? You'll have to get back to me on that one, Patrick, is how much I have to owe to anybody. First person that gets
like
it correct, not everybody. The first person that gets it correct. I will buy you a drink as we get ready to go green too.
And I believe the Nasty's machine is out front, right?
It is. Ryan Pendleton is out front right now. Ryan Pendleton is one of the Goat Locker Racing drivers. He is an active duty Navy chief. He's been racing with us for a couple years now. He was actually last season's Truck Series champion, and he's also been the Cruising Classics Next Gen champion as well. So Ryan Pendleton doing some great work here tonight, as we kind of commentated a couple different times. He's been involved in a couple wrecks, but kept his head down, and he's got that number 23 machine up front right now.
He's
And it looks clean.
22 gained up front there. I think we have an answer out there from Mike in the chat there. So if he's correct there, Patrick, I owe Mike a drink.
Another really cool thing as well is Matt Knights. Matt Knights is up there in that number 64 machine, and it is really awesome to see him running up front here tonight. Matt Knights has been a part of our league for a very long time, been a huge supporter as well. Matt Knights had to kind of battle through some health issues himself, so it's great to see him on track, great to see him healthy, great to see him out here, you know, running up front as well. And he's also awesome to see that that green number 42 Clover on the hood of his car.
Hey, you know who else is back in play here? They're close enough in striking distance. Is Andy Kurtz? I mean, this guy, we saw him get turned head on in the wall, get hit by a bunch of cars. Well, these cautions, he has fixed his machine. That car's looking pretty good. It looks like they buffed everything out real good. That 24 car still got a chance. Just got a chance there from 9th place. I don't know about much further back than that. And 9th might even be too far for a green-white checkered, but
Yeah, you're right. Does he have a chance of Chance Taylor? Of course. It was Chance Taylor. How did he get it to you? It was over to it was you. But don't you go commentating, cursing any of these gladiators here this evening, my friend, because they are about to go green. And the question out there was a
Looks pretty
Mustang.
clean right now, man. He's looking pretty good. He's the guy.
Mustang. Was that correct there, my friend, in the booth there, Patrick, for the first time here at the season? We're going to bring in on this fantastic racing season. We're only getting started.
As the pace car pulls off, we're getting ready to go green with only 2 laps left to go. So, I don't know. Buckle up, pull them seatbelts tight. This is going to be a wild finish here tonight.
They're going to do it under green. We're not going to get another caution. We're running to the checkered right here. I can feel it in my bones. Green
Green
is
flag,
out.
green flag.
Not a whole lot of help. Not very formed up here towards the front. The outside lane, they're about 3rd car back. They did not get a great start. It's going to be a big benefit for the inside lane. That 80 machine there's got a lot of damage. It's going to be hard for him to pull out. And I mentioned him. Here comes that 24 right up the middle. He is trying to put himself back up here with a shot to win. And now he's in the first 3 rows. He can do it from here. Oh, he's going to go to the top of 3.
Yeah, Andy Kurtz wasting no time right now trying to get that 24 machine back up. Oh, and Matt Knights gets turned around. Ryan Pendleton is caught up into it as well. And we have
Andy's the
another
leader.
really big
Andy
wreck.
from ninth on the restart. Half a lap, he's the leader.
How did Andy survive that? Well, we have to find out. Replay, don't we? Wow. Is it? What is this? To explain it, of course, we will go back to the replay. But is that like cold tires, warm heart, cold tires scenario? How would you explain
It's
that
just
one?
aggressive moves, and I think what happened here, if you take a look at this replay, that 64 kind of fades up to block Andy, I believe. He fades up with Andy, and when Andy got there, he decided, I'm going to try to get back to the middle. And when he went to pull back to the middle, 14 was already there. Yeah, maybe the 14 just kind of drove through him too. Not really
Oh,
much of a hole there.
That is
Yeah.
that
Kinda
is
just-
tight, isn't it? That's oof. I don't know. At this point, nobody else has got anybody to go. That's going to wreck the rest of the field almost. I think the 86 will get pie. I think this one's going to tag the 80 will tag the 0, and that's it. So Andy's going to sit there and go, "What just happened?" Let's go on board with Andy from behind his view, which is not the best place Andy, or probably the best place Andy would like to see this. Full speed. Man current leading this race from his perspective. That's going to be scary in your mirrors, right?
Yeah, it looks pretty good to him.
Wow.
It's better in your mirror than in your windshield. Absolutely incredible stuff. Like I counted this 24 out at 10 to go. He was turned head on into the wall at the front. Got hit. I was, I said it. I said, oh man, 24's shot to win is done. But here he is resurrecting just like that paint scheme did back in 2004 when Jeff ran it. Got wrecked early, was 2-3 laps down, and came back to finish second. And he's hoping to do one spot better here tonight at Talladega.
Another key player is the 86. Of course, Timothy, we haven't mentioned too much about him, but he's been in the mix the whole time, the 86 machine, currently here at the moment. So he's been hanging in there, and he's got the good place at the moment hanging there because he's only got a few laps to go. And Ryan Pendleton, well, we've spoken the number 23 machine all the season long, really on the Nazareth network, on many racing networks. He can race, and he can drive to survive. He doesn't need a Netflix series to show how good he can get the job done. So don't count him out. John Anthony as well too. He's also been holding in. I mean, he's only dropped one place at the moment since this whole race. He's holding in P4 and he started in P3. Brian has been holding in there the whole time for the part-time Pro 08 machine. He's up 21 positions. He's got a shot at this one. If we can get green towards the end there, gentlemen. What do you think?
Well, we got 2 shots at a green-white checkered here tonight, so I don't know that we're done with cautions quite yet. But like to see this thing, on this green-white checkered, go ahead and get this race finished up. And yeah, I mean, we wanted to count Andy Kurtz out, but I mean, this guy in this car, it's just unbelievable what he could do behind the wheel of this car. And to see him jump from 9th to take the lead of this race, even when all that chaos was happening, I'd like to say it's unbelievable, but it's Andy Kurtz.
I'll tell you one thing, that there is one boost that can help you a little bit to get across the line, maybe in P1. It's called the team chat, the chat out there at 37 of you watching at the moment. And Christopher is out there going, go 86. Will that be enough for Timothy, currently as the moment we're riding on board with, to get the job done past Andy? I mean, sometimes that fan boost works, if I'm not mistaken there, Chris.
Sometimes what works?
The crowd boost, the fan boost, the cheers from the audience there, because, the more people you have in the chat there screaming your car number out and your name out there, is that enough to get you across the line? Is it enough to get you to beat past Andy? Who knows? They could wreck and Brian could win it, or anybody else.
I think tonight you need to do whatever you can do, whether it's some kind of circle or some kind of prayer circle, some kind of, something with the black cat. I mean, you're going to need to pull out all the stops tonight with what you're doing behind the wheel and all the luck and everything out there to, maybe put down some salt, keep everything away from you. I don't know. Tonight it's been all about surviving. And even the guys up at the front, they are not survived without some kind of scar from this race already.
No, I think everybody in tonight's field has been involved in one of these wrecks in one form or fashion or another. And again, Chris, like you were talking about earlier, on each one of these restarts, we go through and we look at these cars. There are more and more and more damaged cars now towards the front of this pack. To include that number 23 machine there of Ryan Pendleton, Brian Provo right behind him. He's got a lot of right rear damage. I mean, I don't think any car out here tonight has gone unscathed.
Yeah, it's been a race. I'll tell you that. It's been one of those nights for a lot of these guys. Like I said, it's just about surviving and trying to be here and doing the best you can and persevering. You know, trying to survive, then you can't survive, and you got to persevere. And well, we know we're only going to get one more caution if there's more cautions. We're either getting no cautions or one more caution because, like you mentioned, there's only 2 green, white checkered. So,
As the song says, like Frankie, I think it was, to say, "Oh, what a night when I can't wreck my car and I can find my way across the checkered flag." Oh, what a night. I'm really horrible at singing that one, but you get the idea.
We're singing now.
Yes,
Okay.
we are. We'll be singing. Well,
right.
it's more about pairing those engines across the line, isn't it, to get to Barney, checkered flag. That's going to be the key. And you're in the hot zone right now, in your hot seat, because essentially with Barney waved that flag, you have 2 to go. Now, this is just go, 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 isn't it? Risk it for the biscuit. What would you say out there?
I think they've been risking it for the biscuit all night long, based on what we've seen. I don't know if these guys have a wick that can turn up anymore. What do you think, Patrick?
No, I really don't. I mean, they have been getting after it all night long. A lot of aggressive moves, a lot of just. I mean, we've had our fair share of cautions, probably more than our fair share of cautions. But when it's been under green, it has been some really fun racing. It's been some aggressive racing. These guys are out here to have fun. They're out here to race. They're out here to race for a great cause, and they are putting on one heck of a show here tonight.
Yeah, and the green is out. Great start up here for Andy. Great start for the whole front of the field. We'll see if they can keep it green here and get back around here to this white flag. Andy's trying to decide what lane he wants to be in. He wants to block the top. I don't know about that maneuver. But it looks like that 23's got quite a bit of damage. That 23 is going to be a hard car to be leading. Andy kind of leaving that middle lane open. He needs 3 wide for the lead down here into turn 3. The hurt car on the bottom. I don't know how good of a leader he can be down there, but side by side up on the big turn 3 and 4 banking. Coming down the front stretch. Flag stand coming in the side. Are we going to get to see the white flag this time as the 25 tries to inch ahead? Big move there out of the 86 to put the 24 in the middle. They're 3 wide, looking to go 4 wide. White flag is out. We're going to come back around here to the checkered flag. All of a sudden, the Dale Earnhardt 33 machine showing up here at the front. Vintage Dale, haven't talked about that car all night, and here he is trying to take 3rd place, give himself a shot at the win. Off of turn number 2, heading down the backstretch for the last time. Oh, the leader gets churned. 4 wide for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. It opens up for Andy.
And they're wrecking behind him.
Big wreck behind them. We'll talk about that after the flag. All of a sudden, it's the Gordon car versus the Junior car.
Oh, they're wrecking. There's 2 cars.
That's all that's left is these 2 cars. Absolutely incredible sights.
It's up to James. It's up to James to do anything about Andy. No, James is blanking.
Car. It's just the 24.
Oh,
it's just the 24.
Andy, job done.
No crazy finish
goodness.
there. No, he wasn't a lap car. They were talking about him being a lap car, right? Oh, no, he was.
Andy.
7-second win.
How's that? I mean, you can't count that man out at all, isn't it? He's a champion. And you're a champion for a reason. He's on point, isn't he, for the dew point machine there. Andy Katz, our first race winner here at the Goat Locker ARCA series presented by INvets at Talladega Speedway. It's yours, my friend. Job done.
I mean, just an unbelievable finish to this. We saw guys wrecking. Thought we still had a decent pack of 10 to 12 drivers. A couple of those guys get tangled up. They wreck, and then it's just Andy Kurtz with a lap car with an easy cruise to capture the checkered flag and the win here tonight. And he is celebrating on pit road right now.
Going back to halfway down the backstretch, though, we'll talk about this lap. I don't know if we're going to get a replay. You know, it's we'll just talk through it, though. But Timothy Williams there in the 86 was out front, opened up the bottom, tried to close it back. The 32 was there. That churns him. That was the first incident down the backstretch. That's where he got turned. Then they get 4 wide, heading down towards turn 3. The 32 then doesn't realize they're 4 wide, maybe thinks they're just 3. Drives up into the side of Ryan, wrecks a bunch of cars right there into 3. Now at that point, we're thinking we've got about 6 cars racing for this win. And then they make some contact there with the 32 and the 17, get down into the 33, spins to 25, and at that point, it's just the leader with the lapper. Yeah, there you see they get together back there 4 wide. They thought it was 3. iRacing doesn't call out 4 wide. Your spotter calls out 3. If it's 4, you better hope somebody's yelling about it. And they make more contact there, and at this point, Andy's thinking, man, it's just me and a lapper. I got this thing.
And he did.
Unbelievable.
Results.
And as I said it from the beginning, I mean, if you were a bet man, you'd need to put your money on that number 24 car and Andy Kurtz, and guess who brings home the win here tonight?
Just, I've never seen something like that with the lap car at the end like that. I mean, we're talking about a 7-second gap between first and second at Talladega.
Unbelievable, but a great finish for Jim Kaufman. Jim Kaufman again is a veteran that has been racing with us for a very long time. It is awesome to see him bring this car home in second place. We have featured him as one of our veterans in the spotlight as well, so that is absolutely outstanding. Dustin Harrell brings it home in third place. Matt Knights, man, I feel so awesome for him, and I'm so happy for him to bring it home in fourth. Greg Bontourage there in fifth. Ryan Pendleton in sixth. Mark McCreary in seventh. Brandon Wallace, I don't think we called his number all night long, ends up in 8th place. Timothy Wilms in 9th, and then rounding out your top 10 here tonight is going to be Sam Milliken. But yeah, what a wild race here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway. Man, I mean, I had a lot of fun. It's been a while since I've been actually up in the booth. It has been an absolute pleasure to call the race with you guys here tonight. And obviously to talk about what we're doing here at Goat Locker Racing, to give a lot of love to our sponsors, Cruising Classics, Nasty Restaurant and Bar, INvets for sponsoring this ARCA series. And we talk a lot about sponsors, and we'll continue to talk a lot about sponsors as the season goes. But I want to give a huge shout out to the 41 drivers that took the grid here tonight. It probably wasn't the best race, and for a lot of them, it didn't work out the way they wanted it to. But this is what we're all about. We come together as a community, as 41 drivers here tonight, and a lot of people in the audience as well, to support what we're doing so we can continue to provide for our nation's warriors and first responders. And I know, Biggles, you talked about it too, but I want to give a huge shout out to Doug Ellingson and the whole Ellingson family. We love you. We're always thinking about you. Can't wait to see Doug back on track.
Ain't over yet, my friend. Sorry, you're not going out of that easy there, Patrick. You've got to stay back for a little bit of the interview time if you have the time, please. And while we cut to a quick commercial there for another Cruising Classics, because I believe that somebody got the Blue Machine correct there, and Mike there for the Mustang. Was that correct, actually? Was that Blue Machine the Mustang?
Well, as we rewind the commercial here, I'll be able to.
Well, we'll find out right now. Don't go anywhere. Back in just a minute. Pay attention. We'll have another clue at least for the Cruising Classics ad before we get our interviews coming up just shortly. Don't go anywhere.
And welcome back here to Talladega. where we have just finished up the race here, and Andy gets the big win. And I believe I am standing here next to Andy. Andy, you won the race. We thought you were out of it there with about 10 to go. Got turned up there at the front of the field. Big wreck ensued, and then somehow you're able to win that thing, drive from ninth to first on the second to last restart, and then just we're the only lead lap car that was within striking distance there on the very end. So talk to us about your night and how you managed to find your way to victory lane.
Yeah, well, hopefully that photo finish there with Jake still put on a good finish for everyone watching. But yeah. I mean, first off, awesome to see how many people raced with us tonight. I think 40 or 41 people. So I'm normally not too good at qualifying here, but I guess held the wheel straight enough, I guess, during my lap and qualified up front. So figure with how many people, it would just be really important to stay up there, stay out of trouble. So but yeah, Talladega happened, and you're always gonna have the big one, and got caught up in one, and luckily, just able to take fast repair and get back up to the front, and yeah, I kind of squeaked by one of the wrecks there at the end. I was up on the outside through wide, and all happened right underneath me, so got super lucky there. I think a lot of this, comes down to luck to some extent. So definitely got pretty lucky tonight with the way a couple things ended. Then of course that wreck on the last lap. I'll have to go back and watch and see what happened. But all of a sudden, it was just me and Jake, and I saw his name was Blue, so he was not on the same lap as me. So figured we were in good shape to get the win there. But yeah, a ton of fun. Looking forward to running all the races here over this summer series.
All right, Andy, congrats on the win. I will hand you off to Patrick here to finish up your interview.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Well, you say cool now, right now, until I start asking the hard questions. But Andy, congrats on the win here tonight. I mean, I said from the beginning of the broadcast, this man won a ton of races last season in the ARCA car. He was our ARCA Series champion. So you better put your money on him. And I'll be danged, you brought this number 24 home with the victory, man. So, one, congratulations. I think it's awesome to see you back in victory lane. But I mean, just talk us through a little bit of your race. I mean, there were a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, a lot of cautions here tonight, but you were able to navigate a lot of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think just in terms of kind of what you're thinking about when you're here in this car, I think I love Talladega compared to Daytona just because you can run 3 wide pretty comfortably. They make it look easy on TV, but it's tough doing that, especially when you're in the middle. And I think these cars draft really well. You don't really get huge runs in them, so it's just I think it's a lot of fun in this car. So yeah, just trying to manage. I think I wanted to be anywhere but on the bottom lane there, leading. So I think I jumped up to the middle and just tried to manage the runs. But it's pretty tough with so many cars. But yeah, just happy to get another win here.
Well, again, man, I mean, super impressed. Was super impressed last season as well. Great to see you back behind the wheel. Great to see you, racing here in Goat Locker Racing. So, I mean, you got any sponsors you need to thank? Any shout outs? Anybody you want to give some love to?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, want to first and foremost thank you guys. You guys just for having me again. Had a ton of fun last season, and really enjoyed running with everyone. And like I said, it's great to see so many more people race, and everyone. I mean, I think overall it was a really good race. So think we'll be in for a good season over the summer. Want to of course thank Nazra for broadcasting this for us. A couple new sponsors. Definitely want to make sure I don't miss anyone. So Lincoln Tech, INvets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Veterans for Life Foundation, Right Now Roofing, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing themselves, and Big Fish Barbecue for helping us put this together.
Holy smokes, folks. Not only can this man win about every race he's in an ARCA car, he can nail an interview and all the sponsors as well. There's nothing Andy Kurtz can't do this evening. So congratulations again, man. Love having you around. Love to see that number 24 car parked in victory lane here tonight.
Thanks, man. I did have to practice reading through all those sponsors. That was a lot. So wasn't the first time. Thank you.
Well, now we are standing by with our second place finisher, Jim Kaufman. Jim, talk to us about your race and how you managed to miss most of the chaos there. Got caught up a little bit on the last lap, but nonetheless finished second there at the Talladega Superspeedway. Talk to us about your night.
Yeah, it was an interesting night. I had a better qualifying lap than I thought I might. Got to start up front, but then I stepped on it there on somewhere around lap, I don't know, 11 or so, and cleared myself, and I was not clear. So that was on me. And I spent the rest of the time at the back and get back up front and get wrecked back again. Used up my last fast repair. Just kept trying to dodge the wrecks, and it was in about where I would like to be with 5 to go, is in the top 10. That way you got a shot at these things. And got a good run on that last start, and got up front a little bit, and then it was there, and then all of a sudden they got wrecked and got hooked in the wall, and car did a 360. I come out facing the right way and just drove on, and wasn't anybody in front of me except Andy. So it was kind of, I was laughing. So.
Well, all right, Jim. Congrats on your top 3 tonight. Your second place finish. I'll hand you off here to Patrick. See what he's got for you.
Well, Jim, it is awesome to see you get this podium finish here tonight. I think this is the first time I've actually had a chance to talk with you here a little bit, but I mean, it was a pretty chaotic race here tonight, and good to see that you kind of had a light spirit about it, because we definitely had our fair share of cautions. And you talked about getting up front and getting wrecked to the back, and getting up front and getting wrecked to the back again. But talk to us about, I mean, I know Chris talked to you a little bit about the race here tonight and all those different types of things, but when you were coming down to those last few laps, I mean, talk to us a little bit about how you were trying to position that car to get the win here tonight.
Just trying to keep an eye ahead and see what they're, look for a clear lane, and don't make any quick move anywhere. Try to make sure nobody's going to put you 4 wide or in your corner. It's just you keep your head on a swivel, and hopefully the car going in a straight line, and just it's kind of a crapshoot on the end of these things. It's everybody's fast and running in the draft, and doesn't take much. And have a lot of guys wreck there. I'm just seeing the.
Oh, I'm just seeing you go around and around there, James.
Yeah.
Wow, they actually pushed you a little bit further up. There's a car on the lid, by the way, in the background. I'm sure you're not looking in your mirrors at that point. Wow.
No, but then it's just. And
this is live replays, and James, you're looking at the moment there, and then you're so lucky the 83 got tagged.
Yeah,
wow.
Everything for good stuff to happen on super speedways, everything's got to go right. So.
Sorry, I get too excited there, Patrick. Over to you.
Oh no, I mean, it was an exciting race. I mean, I know there were a lot of cautions and those types of things, but man, what a whole lot of fun. And it's good to hear guys coming up in the booth and kind of laughing about a few different things, because we all realize it's Talladega. But Jim, you've been with us for a few years now, racing a lot of different things with us. So awesome to see you racing here in this ARCA series here tonight. But man, the floor is yours, my friend. Any sponsors you need to shout out? Anybody you want to give some love to or thanks?
Pretty much you guys for putting this on. I'm really impressed with what's going on with the donating the rigs and all that, and putting all these sponsors together, and can't do it without them. And I guess I can read down the list here. Lincoln Tech and INvets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics been around a long time. The Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, Veterans for Life Foundation right now. Roofing, Alexander PCs, might have to try them out sometime. Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, I do have a rig from them. Of course, iRacing, that's great to be partnered up with them. Big Fish Barbecue, and our favorite little bar that everybody's watching in tonight. I hope I got your Samrocks on the car on both sides, so hopefully it's all that. So.
Yeah, I'm telling you
It's
what,
a fun
these
place to be.
Oh, I can't imagine being there tonight, especially me being an old retired sailor. Don't know if the bars is quite the right place for me tonight, but we appreciate it, Jim, and appreciate all the love and support, and we'll see you back on track next week.
All righty, have a good one. Appreciate you guys.
Well, and now our final interview of the night is Dustin. Dustin, yeah, finished third. I don't know how much we actually talked about you tonight, but you got that podium finish. How did you manage to miss the chaos? And talk to us about the night that you had here at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, wasn't too much talk about for me there coming. Didn't have the greatest qualifying time there, so I was basically fighting the field throughout throughout the race to try to get my way up to the top. Finally did methodically make my way up to the top. I was there P4 with that under 10 to go, about 8 to go there. I did get turned on that caution there with about 8 or 7 to go. I did have to go take my fast repair there. Came back out, was making my way back up there again. And then I guess, the chaos happened right there. Two cautions away. I got clipped, so I didn't have full power there at the end, but I was able to stay out and keep the car on the track there. And that last lap, it's basically was survive and avoid as much as possible, and that's what I did.
Yeah, well, congrats on the run. The Bucky's machine looked pretty good out there tonight. I talked about it one time, and then you proceeded to wreck right after I talked about it. So I apologize for getting you caught up in that wreck. And I will hand you off here to Patrick to see what he has for you.
Well, hey, Dustin, again, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight. But I mean, I think the question I have, and everyone has at this point in time, tell me about Bucky's. Tell me why you're running the Bucky's paint scheme.
Yeah, Bucky's. Bucky's is becoming popular. It's I guess it's out of Texas, and I'm a big fan of Texas, even though I currently reside down on the East Coast in North Carolina. But Bucky's just coming over to the East Coast, and we have we're getting our first one in North Carolina next year, and then we got several down the coast of Florida and one in Tennessee. So it's basically it's a family trip. Every time we pass the Bucky's, it doesn't matter how many miles we got. We're gonna make sure we stop at a Bucky's to and from. Yeah, that's kind of what we got.
I want to ask you, Dustin, because I'm an Aussie, mate, and I have been to the States. I've lived in the States before, but I've never been to a Bucky's. What am I going to expect in the Bucky's?
You're gonna expect, one of the biggest, I guess you want to call it convenience store you can. They got, Texas style barbecue, Texas style brisket. You're gonna go up and you're gonna get over 200 gas pumps when you show up, and everything's just bigger when you get to a Bucky's.
Man, it sounds like exactly the place I want to go, mate. I like Texas and Australians. We love it. It sounds like we love the Bucky's.
Yes, sir.
Good on you. Right.
Hey, I've been to 2 different Bucky's in my lifetime.
We got 2 different Bucky's on track. Look at this, the pictures as well too. Who's the other machine?
So the one down in Kentucky, and would you look at that?
Hey, that's
Bucky's
not
is absolutely amazing. It is an experience, and it is a mecca that you need to go to. But Dustin, we're not going to hold you up too much longer here talking about Bucky's and those different types of things. But again, congratulations on this podium finish here tonight. I mean, you stuck it out. You found yourself, racing, here to 3rd position here tonight. So, got any sponsors you need to thank? Any shout outs? Anybody you need to give some love to?
Yeah, firstly, I want to thank you guys for putting this on. I was, racing with the league 2-3 years ago. Had to take some time away with a new addition to the family, and this is actually my first race back with the league. I'm happy I'm back. It seems like the league continuing to grow. You're doing good things. So I would definitely want to thank you guys for putting this on, taking the broadcast. They always seem to do a phenomenal job with the broadcast, and I go back and watch the broadcast after every race as well. And I want to thank all the sponsors, that sponsors the league, Cruising Classics, Veterans for Life Foundation, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, Big Fish Barbecue, Alexander PC, and all the other sponsors that sponsor the league. Without them, this league probably wouldn't be what it is today. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to my teammates. 00 John Anthony, the number 12 Wesley Lynch, and the number 50 Corey Bowman. It's with this many cars on the track, it was hard to link up and stay together, but we all stuck it out, and I'm so happy to come on top from those, but they all we try to stuck together as a team.
All righty, man. Well, again, congratulations on the podium finish tonight. Hopefully, in the weeks coming up and then some of the different races we got coming up, we'll get a chance to talk to you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, fellas,
boys,
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the same thing, Chris. Sorry to cut you off, man. I mean, what a race. 41 drivers took the track here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway in these ARCA cars. We knew it was going to be difficult. We knew the cautions were going to fly here tonight. But it has been awesome to see these guys come up kind of lighthearted, having some fun with it. And we were able to raise awareness for what we're doing here to Goat Locker Racing. Hopefully, there at Nasty's Bar and Grill, we were able to raise some great money as well, so we can continue to support our nation warriors and first responders. But Biggles and Chris, thanks for having me up in the booth here tonight, and it was an absolute blast.
Yeah, thanks for having us tonight. I don't know who made the decision to bring myself in, but I appreciate it. It was a late call, and I will definitely have to get over to Nasty's and check it out and see about the food over there, and
Hey, we're heading
make
there
sure these
now.
boys are okay tomorrow.
All right, you guys open? How long do you think it'll take me? About I think about 3 hours and change. Let me see if the airport's open here in Panama. But anyway, if we can't get there today, we can get there in the next racing event there. What do you reckon about that one, Chris? Texas, my friend.
Yeah, we got Texas coming up. You got Stafford, Fontana, Chicago, Rockingham, Pocono, Phoenix here in this summer series. And I think Texas is going to be a great race. Go do some short track racing at Stafford. Go out to Fontana where you'll be able to run from the bottom to the wall. Chicago, real bumpy. Rockingham, maybe back into the NASCAR world next year in real life. And out here in the ARCA car, it's going to be a great track. Go to Pocono. And wrap it up at Phoenix. Looks pretty good there, Patrick. Why don't you take us home and hit on anything we may have missed?
Yeah, I mean, we got an awesome schedule coming up for the summer series. Again, a big shout out to INvets for coming on board and sponsoring this series and all the work that they're doing with veterans here in the state of Indiana and across the country to get veterans to work and live here in the state of Indiana. A huge shout out to Nasty's Restaurant and Bar and everybody that's tuned in out there. And Frank, again, got a lot of love for you, and we're always thinking about you and keeping you and the family in our thoughts and prayers. Cruising Classics and the cool cars. Again, we're going to make our way out there. Goat Locker Racing is coming to Columbus, Ohio, so be on the watch out for that. And all the other sponsors and everything that makes this thing happen, from Lincoln Tech to the grant we got from the Indiana Department of State Affairs or Veterans Affairs, to Jam Printing and Promotions that does all of the stuff for us here. I can't say this enough, how humbled and thankful myself and Jamie are as we continue to grow, as we continue to expand. This is just the beginning, just the tip of the iceberg. And then, of course, you all at NASCAR 360, you've been with us for a while, doing some outstanding, broadcasting and things like that. It's awesome that we continue to bring you on board and develop this relationship with our drivers. So thanks to everybody that tuned in. Thanks to everybody that came out and raced tonight. We're going to continue to build and grow here at Goat Locker Racing. So stay tuned. Make sure you give us a follow on social media and all those types of things. And again, congratulations to Andy Kurtz for bringing home the win here at Talladega Superspeedway.